Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of As It Is. It's going to be an awesome one today. We're going to be speaking about the future, space, tech, and loads of other shit. But before we go on, we need to speak about an important thing. Mac, what beer are you drinking this week?
He's on the wife beaters.
Oh, he's going to smack some bitches. That's what's happening. Myself, I think I've cheaped out a little bit, but...
What you got? You got last week's gin? Or 2 weeks ago gin?
I've got Skull.
Oh.
I've gone dirty.
Have you done that just for the video, or are you actually gonna drink that?
No, I'm definitely drinking it. I like it. I like the cheap shit.
Isn't it like 2%?
No, it is...
I mean, it used to be or something.
2.8.
Yeah. It's
It's
alright.
not too bad. It'll do me. I've got 8 of them.
It's like a shandy.
Yeah, it's just something nice and refreshing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something nice and refreshing to get us going this week.
That's the thing. I fancied beer this week, so like everyone's just had the news that we might eventually get out of lockdown in another 6 months. So everyone's feeling a bit summery already.
Yeah, that's it. You got to get on them summer vibes already. Like, what are you thinking about that announcement yesterday?
I didn't watch it or anything. To be fair, I don't know the rules on what's opening when.
Really? Do you want me to?
No idea.
Do you want to give you a little recap?
Give everyone who has no idea a little recap. Yeah.
I'll go off the top of my head. So 8th of March, schools and stuff are going back. So everyone back to school. If you're on a practical university course, you can go back to university. On the 12th of April is the second stage of the kind of, what's it called, re-entrance into normal society, whatever you want to call it. Okay. That's gonna be, what the fucking hell was that? That was like, I think it was, like pub gardens and stuff, I believe. So pub gardens and stuff are going to be open.
Oh, the exterior of pubs and restaurants and things like that.
Yeah, it's got like a takeaway service and like gardens, but I don't get it. How are you going to use shitter? Like, if you need a piss, if you've had a few like pints and that. 29th of March, I forgot the reintroducing like grassroots football and outdoor sports. So
nice.
That's good. April the 12th, as well as like pub gardens and that gyms and things going to be reopening. So that's a good one for you. And then
why for me?
You want to go back to the gym, don't you?
Oh, fuck me, mate. I am so freaking bored.
Did you see me just dribble then already?
I did wonder why you were just staring at the camera like, oh god, not on my nice shirt.
This wasn't even expensive. I got it on sale. Yeah, man. Fucking gyms and stuff reopening 12th of April at last. But I don't know. And then what is it? It's May, something else happening. But then the actual national lockdown, every single like restriction is going to be kind of lifted on the 21st of June, which happens to be the first day of summer, the summer solstice.
But I mean, a lot of people are forgetting that they said, "Oh, Christmas time, it'll all be eased. You can go visit your family." People are very quick to switch off to what could actually happen.
Well, that's what they kind of said yesterday. They said they're not going on dates; they're going on data. So the dates that they're what they're aiming for, basically.
Just estimates.
Yeah, so that's like the earliest.
Right.
But if things peak again, then they're going to push it back. So that's what Boris said. And to be fair, even though like the general management of this whole pandemic's been shit, I feel like since the vaccine kind of came, like they've done a good job of like rolling it out.
Yeah, I guess so. I see on Facebook like every day one of my friends or someone that I know is getting it.
Do you think you want the vaccine?
As someone who didn't really suffer from COVID, I couldn't care less. But
I
But
just
yeah,
couldn't
no, in
give
all
a
honesty,
shit.
like, it didn't affect me. I had a little bit of a cough.
Yeah,
Or for
like
those that do really suffer, that's very understandable.
me and you, obviously we got it at the same time. We had similar symptoms, like nothing really, a bit of a cough, quite a deep cough, and sniffles. But
Mm.
for me, I just wouldn't have the vaccine because I'm allergic to a lot of like medicines, like penicillins and stuff.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't know if it's just me being a bit contradictory, but the only reason why I would have it is to kind of like protect other people. I don't give a shit about myself.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah, definitely.
people.
Well, that's the thing. If it is, that's the next argument. Like, oh, is it going to be mandatory?
I think they're going to have to make it mandatory, if I'm being honest, in terms of like travel and things as well.
Oh, yeah, and you have to have like a medical passport to say I've had the vaccine, so you can travel.
Yeah,
And that
and that
I find that to be, yeah, that's fair enough.
I get it, but why ain't they done like? And it's stupid, but why ain't that like the case with every single vaccine ever? Like, why is it just this one? Obviously, it's a pandemic, blah blah blah. But
I mean, it's a pandemic, but
but you know, like flu kills in other countries. Like flu killed more people than it did COVID, but that was obviously their like management of it.
yeah.
It's just because Britain's like fucking at like a center point for all planes and stuff coming in and coming out of countries. Why we've had such a bad influx of it because there's been no management of the exports and imports into the country. That's my opinion
Mm.
anyway. Whether it matters or not. You know what I'm like. Anyway, I feel like enough of the fucking COVID chat because COVID can suck my balls. Let's go on
Suck
to
my
the
balls.
main. Set my ball, motherfucker. Let's go
Suck
to the
my balls,
main,
COVID.
the bulk of the podcast. And I feel like this is one that's gonna. I don't know. I just feel like this is like your area, and I don't know why.
Why is it my area?
You just.
Well,
I
to
don't know.
be
You've.
fair, just Elon Musk is an absolute G.
It just.
If he's like we were speaking about Mark Zuckerberg. He's like him, but a bit more hip.
Yeah. Like you could potentially share a shandy with him.
Yeah, I think he went on a podcast one time and he had a spliff.
Were
They
it
made him
Joe Rogan?
smoke or something.
I think it was Joe Rogan, wasn't it?
Yeah, it might have been.
I think it was Joe Rogan who were like getting stoned and that. But he talks about is a big advocate for like psychedelics and stuff like mushrooms, like licking toad and stuff. Did you know that? Massive advocate for it. But he said, I can't. I'm not quoting him here, by the way. It's just
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
kind of. It's like
Paraphrasing, so.
yeah. He basically said that it like unlocks your mind, and I feel like that's kind of what he is. He's like a big kid. He thinks of things and then just says to someone,
Yeah.
"Make this for me, please."
He's like the guy in the film Big with Tom Hanks,
Yes.
but with like a shit ton of money.
And his ideas are not just there; they're there, and they're expanding into the ever knowing universe. He's just an absolute. He's mad, like what is it? The Neuralink thing that is proposing.
Oh, the thing with the pigs and the microchips and whatnot.
Yeah, well, there's a pig called Gertrude. But he basically described it as a Fitbit in your mind.
Yeah, I mean that's a good way to try and publicize it. Oh, it's like a Fitbit, but for your brain, for your head. Just for all the dumb folk that are like, it may damage some neutrons and some electrons, but you know.
Just imagine if it starts like malfunctioning though. Hey everyone! Just like smacks us.
What, it's like fucking Ratatouille.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think, how do you get electric shocks? Just like an electric fence, and just you just start grabbing hold and you just fry yourself.
You see like bits
It
of
just makes
brain
you a
come out
super
your ears.
dog. Huh?
You see parts like bits of brain come out your nose and your ears.
Oh god.
Absolutely melting you inside.
I'm just imagining like someone just walking the field and just being like a superconductor and getting struck by lightning.
What person in the right mind thinks, you know, Smut, what I'm gonna do is stick a bit of metal on my brain?
I'm sure there'd be hundreds of thousands of people that do. I
Oh
used to.
yeah.
I saw this guy a long time ago, and he had like the card chips in his hand. He had things that he had like loads of implants, so like he could open his doors, he could use his credit card, like he could do different things on different parts of his body by like scanning it and whatnot.
Oh
And he
yeah.
was always trying to like upgrade himself and put more things on. And he wears like 5 Fitbits everywhere, and like he monitors his body like throughout the day.
Like for me,
I'll find some clips later and I'll put them on.
that just sounds fucking mental. Like, I don't know, imagine imagine going through like airport security. Beep. Sorry, I've just got like all my body chipped. So you're a human bomb? No, 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 no. I just typed in guy with chips in body.
He's just some guy eating chips.
So like oven chips all over him.
Oh, can I get a fish and chips? Get it? Fish and chips.
You're so hilarious.
Let me just send you an email.
No,
I have $20 million in my bank account. Help me.
You send me $500, I send you $1 million Ghanaian dollar.
Profit. Good stock. Good stock. Tesla. Bad stock. Bad stock.
I was about to say, speaking of stocks,
Yeah.
Jesus, you know more about this than me, Mac.
Well, I don't know if I do. I guess I'm more experienced is the right way of putting it.
You're more experienced. You've actually devilled into the stock market. I've not gone into it yet. I've been doing a bit of research, but I don't feel like you can research it. I feel like you just got to kind of. I don't know how you'd research. How would you research?
I don't think you can. I think it's just it's like learning on the spot sort of thing. And I guess you can be taught it from someone else. So like more of an expert, whatnot, or a financial advisor who can advise you, whatnot.
I don't get though how like everyone's looking at these screens and stuff, and obviously it's going green and red, like when things like fluctuating like prices and all this shit. How do you know?
Red and red.
Yeah. Well, how do you know that one bit of stocks, let's go Bitcoin, for example, whatever, or Tesla.
That's a good example.
Yeah, let's go Bitcoin, this for shits and gigs. How do you know that in next 10 minutes that's going to be up or down?
Well,
there's no way to know.
At the minute, the big one is if Elon Musk tweets about it, it's either going to go up or down. This guy has affected the price of Bitcoin more than anybody in the world.
Why is that though? Why do you think he's kind of like affected? Is it because of his status or what?
Well, it's got to be. There's like celebrity status, but then there's like omega fucking rich celebrity status. If Jeff Bezos was like a public person, but nice, he could have more of an influence.
Jeff Bezos is just a cock.
He's a very strange person.
Well, I feel like all these like kind of billionaire, like entrepreneurial management type, like your Richard Bransons, your Mark Zuckerbergs, your Jeff Bezos.
Whatever happened to Richard Branson's space travel?
Or Virgin Atlantic, or whatever it called. Not Virgin Atlantic. That's one that goes over fucking Atlantic.
Atlantic one?
Yeah, no. What's it called? Virgin Summit. Anyway, it took
Galactic or something.
Yeah, it took you.
It just went really quiet all of a sudden.
It took you on like the out bit of the atmosphere, so it were kind of space, but kind of not, where it were like a zero gravity area on it. I swear that's kind of like what they used to do, but I don't know, I think it's just old and dying, left it in the hands of other people, and they're not really, But
that one just kind of died a death. It just disappeared.
what we're saying about, like, your Mark Zuckerbergs and all them, do you feel like they've all got some form of, like, social, I wouldn't say a social detachment from the earth? Like, they seem a little bit like Asperger-y. I don't want to say it in like an awful way, but
Asperger-y.
do you know what I mean though? Like, they seem like they're on the spectrum, but not on the higher end, like the lower end, just on that social like side of it.
I understand what you're saying. So it's like, I guess in a dumbed down way, it's like very weird social anxiety, and they
You
don't
could
know how
probably
to
call it,
communicate. But
but
I don't remember the proper terminology for it.
it's weird how these like socially distant like mega minds are so
A mega mind.
like they're so, I don't know, influential on the social media world,
Yeah.
because that is socializing now, the internet and things, and all these like mega minds and stuff, mega mind, all them like fucking absolutely slamming it online, just bringing everything forward. And I feel like Elon Musk is the one that's turning everything, just everything's internet, everything's electric, everything's harnessing the sun's energy, using like natural, like using like technological resources rather than natural resources.
Yeah.
Mm.
He had another project that I was looking at for like quite a while, and it was like a tunneling system. And I think it was over in Las Vegas, where he had this machine that would dig underground a tunnel and then use all the leftover debris and stuff to make bricks. So it'd produce its own bricks whilst tunneling
Tunnel for what?
for like underground tunnels and railways and roads for like when they
Oh, right.
eventually do become like the mode
Yeah,
of
yeah,
transport and whatnot.
yeah. I thought it just meant digging tunnels for shits and gigs.
Just like, what can I do today? I don't know. Dig a
I'm gonna
tunnel.
go. I'm gonna go digging.
I'll build $100 million piece of equipment just to play with it.
Well, that's kind of what he does. Like you saw when he brought that new Tesla car out, and he said it was like bulletproof and stuff. And then they brought like a gun out and smashed window it like first shot.
I think it was like just a little like rubber sledgehammer or something.
It was something and just absolutely destroyed it. Like, yeah, this is indestructible. It's the best thing that's ever happened. It was like, no, it's not.
I think at some point there comes a time where it's like maybe he's actually just joking. Maybe he's just a comedic artist.
Well, it's funny.
He's doing like this whole gag and whole bit, and is like this new indestructible Tesla car. Oh,
Thing is, like, he's just the guy with the brain and the money. He pays people to make this stuff. So do you think he's just like sat in his like office and thinking, what's the most absurd thing that could be useful that probably is not going to be in general like circulation for over 50 years? I could put
like a
loads of money
chocolate fire
towards.
guard.
Yeah, yeah.
I want a chocolate fire guard. Oh,
It's like, it reminds me a bit of Willy Wonka, Elon Musk. Just absolutely bonkers, but so inventive and so revolutionary. He's mad. It's mad. It really makes me laugh.
his next press conference, he just he comes out doing flips and forward rolls, and he's like, "Ta-da!"
That way, he like pretends to die in.
Just fall over.
Yeah.
He gets run over by a Tesla, and then just arises in a spaceship.
Well, speaking of spaceships and stuff, they've just landed on Mars again, haven't they? With that new rover.
Yeah, yet again.
How do they do that? Like, they've sent a fucking thing up, and now it's got a drone just absolutely bombing around Mars, like taking pictures and sending it back to Earth.
Zero gravity sort of drone looking thing.
Mm.
Like looking at the pictures though, you're like, how's that designed so like it functions at that gravity? And wait, is Mars oh, it's harsh, isn't it? Well,
Yeah,
not as harsh as the moon, but
no, it's not as it's got a bit of atmosphere, but not
it's
much
like
atmosphere.
between the Earth and moon.
I'm not 100% sure. I know it's got a little bit of atmosphere, but there's not much of it.
I
It's not
swear.
like Jupiter where there's like a billion-year-old storm going on.
Jesus, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, whenever I think of Mars, I always think of the Matt Damon film,
Oh, is
Martian.
it? Yeah,
Oh, that's such a
Matt
sick film. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Damon. Now, Team
But
America World Police is a great film as well.
yeah, suggest that. But like, what about like Mars and stuff? They've just sent that. But like,
Mm.
I'm reading here, Elon Musk, obviously SpaceX, is planning. He said in this year, so a month ago, he plans to send 1 million people to Mars by 2050. This involves building 1,000 Starship rockets over 10 years. That's 100 Starship rockets every year, and launching an average of 3 Starships per day. There will be lots of jobs on Mars, he said.
More than England at the minute.
More than current COVID market.
But
But
that's the
imagine.
thing. Oh, go on, after you.
No, I was just going to say, imagine what jobs is there going to be on Mars? A rock picker.
I dare you to call an archaeologist a rock picker.
But now, what were you going to say?
So like imagine like 40 years ago in like the 1980s, and they always thought that in like 2020 we'd have flying cars and whatnot and starships
Yeah.
and blah blah blah. So I mean they were on the right track, but I feel like if Elon Musk was in charge of like the development process a long time ago, we'd be much further along.
We'd definitely be in an episode of Star Wars. What were there in early 90s? Like, from now to then? Like, there's been a bit of, like, difference, hasn't there?
What's like big inventions in the 90s? So in the 1990s, these are some of the biggest inventions at the time. You've got the World Wide Web. Oh,
Do you like that?
oh. He's had one skull. Look at him.
Ready for that second one, boy? Go on, tell us some of these mad inventions.
So first one, we've got the World Wide Web.
Mm.
Interesting. Number 2, we got DVDs. Oh, that's interesting that something in like the 1990s is already becoming like irrelevant and
DVDs.
there's like a new media.
But, well, even Blu-ray, like, they come out in, like, noughties, and that's kind of, like, irrelevant now.
Blu-ray died a very quick death.
It came and went.
Yeah.
It was quicker than my first girlfriend.
What, it came quicker than it? Oh.
You know what I mean? But I like the take he took on it.
Yeah. Oh. Apparently SMS in the 90s.
What? Messaging
Texting.
service?
Messages, yeah.
Did it?
Unbelievable. Yeah, cell phones have been around since 70s, but it wasn't until the 90s
Until
that they
90s.
started going mainstream, and obviously there used to be like fucking bricks and you can only
Gonna
call
say
people.
them. Yeah.
So
Then when you had to
early,
like pull out the antenna at top and be like,
yeah.
ah.
So early 90s they actually started fucking mental. MP3 players.
What about us? We were inventing it 90s.
Oh, the greatest inventions of all. Hey.
No, 95, 96. Boy.
We got Adobe Photoshop in 1990. Linux in 91.
Linux? Why
A
can't I think what
Nokia.
Linux is?
It's like a computer-based system like Windows or Apple. It's like the other one.
Right. Oh,
That,
the one
like,
that
it's
no
like
one remembers.
yeah, it's like what indie people use if they use the computer.
I thought that was Firefox.
The original PlayStation 94.
Oh, I need to buy a new place. I need to buy PlayStation 1 me. I would still want to play on like Crash Bandicoot and original it's got not Soul Calibur. What are you fucking called? You just go around like with guns.
With guns.
Yeah, it was sick. It's kind of like an early.
What happened in the game?
So you basically had a character and you used to like go around. Fucking what were it called? That's gonna irritate me. Let me find out.
What happens in the game? I'll try and guess. Keep going while you're searching.
So basically, like kind of like a Call of Duty kind of game, but you had like
Medal
loads
of
and loads.
Honor?
No, what do you fucking call it? 1 minute. PlayStation 1
PS1 games. Oof.
game list. Fucking hell, there's gonna be loads in there. Oh, I remember Tekken.
Yeah, man. But for me, Tekken were at like a PS2 era sort of game.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I used to play Tekken Tag Tournament and Tekken 4, I think, were my favourites. Maybe 5.
Tony Hawk Pro Skate. I forgot about that.
Oh, Tony Hawk Underground.
Underground
ever play
2 at
that?
best. Underground 2.
Yeah, man.
But I can't remember what it's called. I can't even. It's gonna annoy the absolute living shit out of me. Like I'm gonna have to stay here until I actually like find it.
So we got the Nintendo 64 in
I've got
'96 as well.
I've got it.
Yeah.
Time Splitters.
Time Splitters, right?
Time Splitters. What a game that was. Do you remember that one? You used to go around absolutely slamming people with like loads of different weapons and that.
Right.
I knew it was.
Okay.
Oh, that was such a good game. Me and our Adam used to play it all the time, going around just absolutely hammering each other. It's has no relevance to the podcast, that bit.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've never played this.
You've never played Time Splitters, mate.
No.
I'm gonna buy a PlayStation 1 of me and you're gonna absolutely slam Time Splitters.
Oh my god, that could be a good vid. Playing Time Splitters.
Jeff Bezos, he's got a space venture.
Why was Jeff Bezos' space adventure? Jeff Bezos' space adventure.
Imagine that for a fucking TV show.
Next week's new release on Amazon Prime.
Can you imagine that?
Jeff Bezos and his space cadets.
On this week,
Go on.
No, go on.
Did you ever see? I think it was Netflix. It's called like Space Force or something.
No.
It's the guy who plays Brick in Anchorman.
Oh, Steve Carell.
Yeah, he Steve Carell.
Oh, I've seen it advertised.
Space Force. It was such a weird show. It just sort of came out of nowhere. And yeah, he's like an army general who's then deployed to this space unit. Like a new sort of startup.
Let me guess, it's a comedy.
Oh yeah, like a spoof comedy sort of thing. It's Steve Carell. Like you knew it. Like is
it?
It's typical his comedy though as well.
I Love Lamp.
Yeah, not even that. More
The Office.
Not on the nose sort of thing. Just like here's a joke, laugh sort of thing.
You know something? I used to love Steve Carell.
I guess it was very easy watching, but it's not. I don't know. Nothing amazing.
That's it now. People just want easy watching stuff. And if you get like your standard comedians like your Will Ferrells, your Jim Carreys, all these, they're gonna give you easy watching stuff.
Well, that's the thing. The names will get in the numbers to make watching it worthwhile. Like they could just produce one season of it. It could be the shittiest thing ever, but if it still gets the numbers, who cares?
Well, isn't that kind of what Apple did with that TV show that had like Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon in it?
Reese without a spoon. Was that her?
Do you remember it?
No.
Like it was recent. I know because Apple have got their own streaming now, aren't they? Fucking hell. Keep burping. Apple Plus. And they did that recent one with Jennifer Aniston in. And obviously Jennifer Aniston, big Hollywood starlet. Then Reese Witherspoon, like a B-Tech Jennifer Aniston, in my opinion. And they brought them both in, and everything like, oh yeah, this is happening, this is happening, this is going to be a big thing on Apple. Yeah. And it happened, and now there's just nothing of it now. They're like going on talk shows and everything. I think they went on Jonathan Ross, like over here, and then obviously on all big American ones like Jimmy Kimmel's, Saturday Night Live, James Corden, The Late Late Show, all that jazz.
Yeah.
I just know what's happened to it. It's one of them one season wonders.
One of my friends mentioned Jonathan Ross show the other day, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty dead. Like, it's not entertaining. Half of the time, I feel like the celebs just feel awkward sat there. When they'll get like 3 random celebs that might have nothing in common. They're just all sat there, like, when he's speaking to one of them, they're just like...
Well, I actually went to a live streaming of Jonathan Ross.
Did you?
Yeah, in my second year of uni. One of my friends at uni got the tickets, nothing like free ticket sites.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what they do. They build an audience for them, free tickets.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we went, and basically hold signs up, tell you when to clap. They have the guy before who like warms up the crowd, tells a few jokes, takes piss out the crowd a little bit, like the warm up guy. Right. He tells us what's happening. When I tell you to clap, you clap. Blah blah blah, whatever. Jonathan Ross comes out. Hi, fucking wibble wobble wibbly wee, because he can't pronounce his R's. Hello, everyone.
He's reading off his script, and he's like, wibble wobble wibbly wobble.
Have you ever seen that on Bo Select where it's like wibble wobble wibbly wee? It's taking beside Jonathan. Watch it, it's quite funny. But comes out, he introduces the show and stuff, sits down. Oh, right, my first guest is going to be what's that guy with gimpy arm from Last Leg? What's he called? You know Josh Widdicombe?
Not personally, no.
Well, you know who he is, don't you?
Is he the one with the gimpy arm?
It's not him. The guy that does it alongside Josh Widdicombe. I can't remember his name. It's like Alex something, if I remember right. But so he brought him and Josh Widdicombe out.
Yeah.
And like he was very engaging with them, like all the way through. He was like, yes, tell us about it when Last Leg were first coming out, and like they were kind of promoting it.
Right. Okay.
And so basically they were like chatting stuff back and forth between each break. Jonathan Ross does this with his chair, sits back, feet up, gets his vape out, and just starts vaping next to celebrities. Yeah. So celebrities are sat there just like, oh, sweet. People are coming on reapplying the makeup and that, like between each break and things. Yeah. Jonathan Ross is just sat there fucking vaping like his pen and that.
It is very strange being around sets and whatnot. The transition from smokers to vapors has been crazy because obviously vape smoke is allowed in a lot of interior spaces. Or it was at the time. I'm not sure if they're putting more rules and whatnot now. Because there's no combustion and no flames. So everyone on different sets, they were just whipping out vapes. But literally between takes, they had 30 seconds. They were like, let's go.
Wait,
all right, Stacey.
It's funny you say that because I went to watch Jimmy Carr recently. It was just before the lockdown. You know, the 8 out of 10 cats thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
nice.
I went to watch 8 out of 10 cats. Me, my dad, his partner, my girlfriend went, and none of them were doing it. So in between like takes and things, they were interacting with each other, interacting with audience, all celebrities. It was just a completely different dynamic. Like Jimmy Carr, you look at him and you think you look like a bit of a stuck-up arsehole. but he just won at all. He was such a stand-up guy and like chatting to everyone and that.
Yeah, I guess that's different because in a way that's more of like a live action comedy show, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, suppose.
It's not like a TV series where they're just there to do that filming. Like they are there to entertain an audience. Because if they're laughing, pardon me, you know the people at home will be laughing.
I'll tell you something
And
though.
speaking of stuck-up arseholes, Jonathan Ross is one.
I feel like a lot of celebrities are kind of like that, but some of them just aren't. But like one of our mutual friends, when they worked on Les Mis, they were telling us about Baron Sacha Cohen.
Oh, yeah, right.
Do you remember?
Mm.
And like they were saying that he were a bellend on set, and not only were he a bellend, but he stunk as well.
Oh,
He had a bad hum about him, but he's one of them guys you look at and you think, you know what, he'd probably do smell a little bit of like dead ass.
he is funny as fuck though, so
Oh yeah, he's hilarious. Borat, you know what? Borat one of the best comedies of all time, in my opinion.
Mm.
Borat 2, not sure.
I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I did Borat 1.
Did you?
Oh, fucking hell. Let me go. Ah, gassy shit, man. I enjoyed Borat 2 more than Borat 1 because I felt like I understood a lot of the undertones a lot better.
Mm.
I didn't rewatching Borat, I realized that there were so many hidden agendas and he made a joke about this for like a certain reason.
That's what he does with a lot of his like kind of work. He's got that political undertone to a lot of it, like especially with Borat 2. Obviously, find that underlying racism, underlying homophobia, that sexism, and he does that really, really well. Like he's a very smart guy. Like, were he educated at Oxford or Cambridge?
I remember doing research into him, and he studied at some amazing colleges, universities, schools, what sort of thing, and he studied clowning under like
Really?
yeah, it's like the act of clown, and like it's like portraying this over the top characters sort of thing, and he implements so much of that into his characters. So like Ali G, Borat, the the list of his characters goes on.
Yo, you know, Smart. One thing I'll respect that guy for is how far he kind of like pushes the boundaries. Like it was that one in, I think it was Bruno, the one when he plays the gay Austrian.
Bruno! Oh my god, yeah.
It was a very, very, very poor film in terms of like storyline. It was shit, but it went to chuffing Middle East and walked through a Middle Eastern town in speedos and a bralette. That's
It
can give you death penalty over there, man.
it's weird looking back at it now because I'm like, in a way, I guess you'd say it was shit film, but like, so was Borat in a way. It's like it's the exact same setup. It's this unique character does these
Mm,
things that are against his character.
yeah. You know, I don't know why I just didn't resonate with Bruno. It I don't get uncomfortable. I think the darkest things are hilarious.
Mm,
But some of that stuff, it made me, and I think that's what he obviously aiming for, that cringe factor to make you do, ooh, like
yeah.
looking
Oh
through your
yeah, yeah.
hands. And I don't know, I just, at the time, I might think differently now because it was about 10 years ago I watched it, whatever it was. But at the time, being a 15, 16, 17-year-old lad, I would be like, ooh, not sure
Yeah.
about that.
It's all right, Daniel.
He scarred me, man. He scarred me. But then you forget about one other one, Great Dictator that he did.
Yeah, yeah. That I think that was targeted more as a comedy.
Oh yeah, that was more of a film that rather than an improv piece, that wasn't it? If I
Yeah.
remember right.
I feel
And
like
then
that was more a studio's work than his work.
yeah, it was same as Brothers Grimsby. That was more of a studio work than his work, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was
I
shy as
mean,
well. That was
I
so.
never actually saw it. I just saw the premise of it and I was like,
I promise you,
that seems dead.
I promise you, hand on my heart. it's not even worth like glimpsing at the title. It is a bad, bad, bad film. It's just, yeah, it's not good. It's not great. It's really not.
But going back to Bruno, in one of his interviews that he did on like a Jonathan Ross show or like an equivalent,
Mm.
he spoke about the last scene where he's in like a UFC cage.
Yes.
And obviously not in the takes that they showed on the film. They did like a trial run in like another venue, like in another state, and apparently it all kicked off. They pulled off the plastic chairs, they were throwing them into the ring. Apparently Sacha Baron Cohen would like, he had the guy here and he
Oh,
was
yeah,
like looking for chairs, so he was like, I'll roll this way, roll this way.
no,
So
that
what they had
wasn't.
to do, yeah, they had to have a secret exit plan just so they could escape.
That wasn't at the other venue. That was actually at the venue. You know where they were actually doing it, the filming.
Yeah.
And that's they just took that bit out, and you can see part of
Right.
the film where he's doing it. They must have done, I've not seen the bit when he's on about like the other venue. But I
Yeah,
remember watching a similar kind of interview where we're talking about it, because they had like loads and loads of rules before they went in. So I can't remember what it like. You're not allowed to kiss, because they knew obviously what they were going to do. Like the people who who had the venue, and then he thought, fuck it, I'm just going to do it anyway, and he did it, and it could have been prosecuted. But it was same with that Borat 2.
What happened
A
in
lot.
Borat 2?
It was that bit, when he went on stage and they were pretending to be a country singer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he found out that there were a lot of obviously there's like the idiots and stuff in like all the racists and bigots and things in the crowd, and they were obviously like doing that as a joke, like pretending that he were like a racist bigot. Right, we've been sent in a question actually.
Wicked.
Right, it's for tonight's podcast, and it was specifically designed for space and future and stuff. Well, more for space. You can send 2 people into space. One to be an ambassador for Earth, and the other just to see the head explode. Who would it be and why? Have a little giggle to you send there, mate.
I'm just trying to think. Have you got any ideas?
I know I'd like to see the head explode.
Greta Thunberg?
No. Piers Morgan.
Right, yeah.
It was either him or Katie Hopkins. I weren't sure which, because I hate them both equally, but Piers Morgan's just more relevant at the moment, and I think it'd just be very satisfying to see his horrible, stupid, fat thumb of a head just get...
It's
amazing.
It's weird because as I got older, I feel like I relate to him more. I don't know if it's because I'm becoming more cynical, but like some of the points that he has, I'm starting to agree with them. Or
yeah, but the points that he says them in such a smuggish cunt of a way.
Yeah,
that and that's the only word that he can kind of like use to describe him. And it's a bad word, and I do apologise, but he is the biggest cunt in the world, and there's just no describe.
I mean, we've definitely said the C word a lot in previous podcasts. So
yeah, if this were his head, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice when he goes in on people.
It's funny.
Yeah, especially at 8 o'clock in the morning. You're just like, wow, it's going in hard. Jesus.
You've just woke up and he's absolutely slamming someone. But in terms of going up into space to be an ambassador, I feel like it's on a number of factors. You've got to be intellectually inclined enough to go up there.
Yeah.
You've just got to be a generally nice person, and there's not many generally nice people. Probably Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Or Boris.
He probably. To be fair, Elon probably speaks the same language as like the Martians or the aliens as well. So.
Well, didn't he call his kid after like one of Martians?
Wait, let me find it.
XYD17 - divide.
I don't know how to say it.
Let me have a gander. Let's see.
Just Google it because I'm gonna put it into Google Translate just to see what it says.
I mean, let's have a go before you do it.
Yeah, find it.
I want to see if I can pronounce it before. Right. So XAA12. What? Go on, go for it.
Apparently the English is XA12. But I think he said at some point how to say it, or like it means something like Liam or something weird.
It means Liam. Just right, Liam.
I don't know if I'm like just totally plucked out of nowhere, but I'm sure I saw an article like that somewhere.
Imagine like a teacher in the morning. All right, who's here? Brandon here. Rebecca here. XA12. Zip.
I mean that kid probably can't get a passport or any like legal document. You're just filling out a form and it's like that's an unknown character or some shit.
Who needs one when you're a robot? when you've got a chip in your head that makes you invisible and can fly and stuff. I reckon Elon wants to like put his child on top of like a cyborg. Have you seen him in Avatar when they've got like them big fucking like like walking things? But instead of like the kid having like real legs, he's just gonna top off his torso on one of them. And that's gonna be his kid. That's the alcohol talking.
Just on AA12, Musk said, first of all, my partner's the one that mostly came up with the name. I mean, it's just X, the letter X, and the A is pronounced Ash, and then A12 is my contribution. He then elaborated that A12 stood for Archangel 12, the precursor to the SR-71, the coolest plane ever.
Now that is how you that's how you name your child. So it's called X Ash Archangel 1. The second.
Yo, that's a fucking cool fighter jet. Yeah.
I'm gonna call my kid that.
Strange. Wow.
What psychedelics do to you, man?
Someone who I'd kill.
Well, not you kill, just want to head blow up.
Yeah.
Have you got something to tell us, mate?
A celeb I'd throw a brick at.
Gemma Collins.
Oh.
Finally unveiled.
That could be a shout, you know.
She was a close second on mine. Why would you blow up
I'm just Googling most annoying celebrities ever. There's a few on this one that are top competitors for it, and they are Harvey Weinstein,
yeah,
Bill Cosby, O.J. Simpson,
so murderers and sex offenders, yeah,
and Ellen DeGeneres.
She's supposed to be an arsehole to work with.
Yeah.
Like, she comes across this big charity case and stuff, but have you heard some like stories and things from staff and people guests on the show?
Yeah, man, she's a bit of a psycho.
One thing I want to speak about that we haven't really touched on is you know like the future going forward and things. like using like your irises and like your body parts, like pay for stuff and like getting into places, you know, like your identities, like with your iris and that.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know, I
So
don't
like
think
in
it'd be
every film or TV series ever, when you're trying to lock a secret door and it's like,
basically, yeah. It's oh god, that
hella fucking gassy tonight.
man, it's lager. It does me, but it's nice and it's refreshing for a long ass week.
Scum. It's nice
Wait.
and refreshing after a week.
It's not even been a week. It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, my bitches.
It's Wednesday, hoes. Oh, that were another actual question that we got from the Instagram.
From the people.
The fan.
Before we got banned.
Oh yeah, I'll speak about Instagram anyway. We got a question through Instagram, and it was from a guy that I used to work with, and he asked me to explain a game that we used to play. It was called Lean Ball.
See, I saw this and I was like, what the fuck is lean ball?
We got a few messages as well, like, "Oh, what's Lean Ball? Explain Lean Ball." And I thought, you know, I'll take this opportunity to explain Lean Ball.
Okay.
So me and my friend who used to work at an arcade, and behind the desk, obviously, like the way you, like, get your prize and stuff, there's a little bit of space. It's a bit like a corridor. So for Lean Ball, all you need is a bit of wall, a bit of corridor with two sides to it,
Yeah.
and then anything that's not a ball.
Okay.
We used a rubber cube. So you both lean on one side of the wall, like about 5 meters apart. And the idea of the game is to continuously lean on that wall, then kicking the ball or the object that you've got and try and get it by the other person and score a goal. And there's lots of different ways that you can get points. So if you catch it on the volley, it's 2 points. If you go through under the legs, it's 3 points. If you score with your back foot, that's 1 point. But if you can bend it over the person, it's 2 points. And if you can manage to get the person to slip or fall off their lean, that's 10 points. And that, my friends, is the game of Lean Ball.
Lean ball. Fucking hell.
It's a fantastic game. It got us through many shifts. We used to play it for like 5 hours at a time.
I'm gonna say that sounds like such a fucking university game.
We're just literally against the wall for hours. Just kicking this like cube. It was so stupid.
We came a long way from planking and Harlem shaking to playing lean ball. The newest trend.
That creeps me up though if we started getting like videos of people playing Lean Ball. Like, that would absolutely harm me. We'll have a game of Lean Ball one day, Mark. It don't make sense. I think we must have been high or something while we were thinking about it. But Lean Ball, that is the one.
Hey guys, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you all for listening, and make sure you're sending all your questions and suggestions on our socials, which are...
All right, so we've got 4 different socials. Our first social is our YouTube account, so you can find that As It Is with Dan and Mac. This is where all of our full content's going to be, all of our episodes, all of our different little outtakes. It's going to be, that's where everything is. That's our main central hub. If you want to listen to the audio, you can do that at anchor.fm/Dan Mac As It Is. That's anchor.fm. That's sponsored by Spotify, or partnered with Spotify, should I say. Then on Instagram, we're very active on Instagram, and that's at As It Is Podcast DNM. So you can send all your direct messages through there, comment on all of our different things, comment on our polls, our question and answers. We're always there. We're always active on there. and we will get back to you as soon as. And also, we are now on TikTok. This is a brand new one for us. We're still experimenting, but hopefully it's going to be big. That is at As It Is Podcast on TikTok. At As It Is Podcast. They're all of our socials, and back to Mark.
Sick, guys. Like, subscribe, follow, and tune in to next week's episode where we have a special guest. Thank you all for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye. Lesbians, eh?
Lesbians. Who knew?